What's up, my pretties? It's the Queen of Lions here, and today we are back with another episode of Shows and Pretties. This is episode 140, and today we are going to be um, today we're going to be talking about this one movie that has Tim Curry, who is Nigel Thornberry. So in this, we're going to do talk about this movie called The Wild Thornberrys Movie. Now, this is me going to be reviewing this movie that came out in 2002, and of course, this is based of course, there is a third movie. Well, not for really third movie, but there is a crossover movie that came out after this movie called Rugrats Go Wild, which I talked about that in my last video. Now, this movie is based on the television series The Wild Thornberrys. So, yeah, this movie came out in 2002 and it was released a few days before Christmas in 2002. So, with that being said, I'm going to sit here and go over with what the movie is about in case if you guys are all, curious as to what this movie is about, or in to be honest, if you haven't watched the movie if you haven't watched the movie in years, I'm gonna, review this movie. Of course, there is a video game based on for the Game Boy Advance and PC. So there's a video game based on that. And as well as there is a soundtrack for the movie, which is excellent and well made. The score of it was just flat out amazing. So let's begin with, me talking about what the plot of the movie is, in case if you guys haven't watched this movie in forever. If you were like a kid in the early 2000s, then you might remember watching this movie when you were a kid. So, without any further delay, let's begin. Eliza Thornberry plays with a family of cheetahs in East Africa's Kenya, after their mother, Akila, puts her in charge of the cubs. When Eliza strays far from the cheetah's home, poachers eventually kidnap one of the cheetah cubs, Tally. Eliza is determined to save the cub, causing her older sister Debbie to tell on her family about Eliza's antics, which prompts her grandmother, Cordelia, to bring her to a boarding school in London for her safety. Much to Debbie's dismay, since Debbie wanted a normal life, upon arriving, Eliza discovers that her pet chimpanzee Darwin stowed away in her suitcase. He attempts to blend in, but is both himself and Eliza in trouble. After having a dream which the shaman Nabo tells her to go save Tally, Eliza convinces her roommate Sarah Wellington to buy her a plane ticket for her and Darwin to return to Africa. While taking the train from Nairobi. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the city name correctly. I'm really bad when it comes to that at times. They encounter an injured male rhinoceros who was shot at the river by the same poachers who kidnapped Tally. They jump off the train to save the rhino with the help of the veterans, Bree and Solon Blackburn. Meanwhile, Debbie is eventually left alone with her feral adoptive younger brother Donnie at the convive, and while their parents, Nigel and Maureen, go to film a solar eclipse at Temple Valley. Eliza returns to convive for supplies and a small confrontation with Debbie. Debbie demands to know why Eliza ran away from London and giving up her chance of a normal life. However, Eliza locks her in the cage and Debbie pursues her. Darwin and Donnie. Cordelia and her husband, Colonel Radcliffe, tries to find Eliza to take her back to London before Nigel and Maureen find out. However, they meet up with Nigel and Mariana or something. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce the name correctly, to inform them about Eliza's escape. They also begin searching for Debbie, Eliza and Donnie and Darwin as well. While Darwin, Eliza, and Donnie meet a gorilla who mentions seeing people setting up a fence across Temple Valley, then they run into Blackburns again. Eliza concludes that the poachers are targeting the elephant herd traveling through the valley. Later, the trio are invited to spend the night at Blackburn's RV, and the next day they find Tally inside the RV. The Blackburns reveal their true agenda as the poachers and capture them, revealing that fence is electrified, and Eliza and Darwin have an argument, and Eliza intervenes. Meanwhile, Debbie meets a local Mabuti boy named Boko, who is sent by his village elders to assist her. The two research on the Blackburns RV, but Solon holds Debbie hostage after she reveals to be Eliza's sister. When Solon then intends to kill Debbie, if Eliza doesn't tell him how she found out their plan, Eliza admits that this was all because of her ability to speak to animals. A storm then comes away and takes away Eliza's powers. While the Blackburns flee, Eliza, Debbie, Darwin, and Donnie and Tally tag along a ride along on a log on a river. After the storm, Eliza then tells Debbie about her ability to speak to animals and that she lost it because she revealed her secret to the Blackburns. Debbie then reconciles with Eliza, so when she learns that Eliza gave up her powers to save her. They reach Tempo Valley in time to see the elephant herd heading back for the electric fence. When Eliza becomes doubtful of herself, Debbie reminds her that she has been helping animals long before gaining her powers, restoring her confidence. The Blackburns are riding a helicopter in order for their men to set off explosives, scaring the elephants and making them charge towards the fence. Eliza triggers the fence's electricity prematurely, causing the herd to stop temporarily, and then convinces the elephant herd to turn around. Infuriated by this, Solon throws Eliza onto the river. He then attempts to shoot the elephants, but they pull the Blackburn's helicopter out of the air by its rope ladder and destroy it, causing them to flee and Bree to fall. Eliza nearly drowns until Shaman Nabel saves her, praises her for rescuing the elephants and using her heart instead of her powers. As a reward, he gives her back her powers, on the condition that Debbie will also keep Eliza's powers a secret. Following the eclipse, the Blackburns are arrested by the Rangers. Eliza reconciles with Darwin and she reunites with her family. The two decide not to send her back to boarding school as she rescued the elephants. Boko returns to his village, keeping Debbie's watch as a memento, and the Thornberrys return to Savannah, where Eliza reunites Tally with his family. Debbie's upset when Eliza tells her that she will turn into a baboon if she reveals her secret, and the process frightens the group of baboons. Nigel and Maureen are filming. One of them activates the radio, which plays the Wild Thornberry's music, and the baboons dance to. Now, that's basically what the Wild Thornberry's movie really is. And I mean, I really enjoyed this story when I was a kid because back when I was like a really young kid, I used to, really enjoy this movie. And I still do today. I rewatched it a few days ago and it's still a really good movie from what I remembered personally. Now, I have to say the subject matter, which involves, poachers coming over to, Africa, you know, poaching animals and kidnapping them. I mean, it's very sad and unfortunate because it happens in real life. And at least in this case, they actually have, they actually tackle that subject matter in a very well manner. I mean, Nickelodeon you know, has done, stuff like going down this path at times, especially with the fact that, well, there were, other stuff such as, well, look at SpongeBob. SpongeBob has done, tackled some certain serious subject matters in the past. So I do know for the fact of that. But I mean, this story was a really good story. And I mean, yes, I haven't watched this movie in forever, but it's still a really fun movie to watch, even if you were a kid. If you were a kid, then I'm assuming you would really enjoy this movie, as you will not be disappointed. I really do like that they had the crossover with Rugrats on my last episode when I talked about it. I think that was pretty neat. The fact that Tim Curry was in this movie was flat out amazing because I love Tim Curry and in his movies. I know he was in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. He was Ben Ravencroft in Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. He was also Pennywise in the 1990 mini TV series It. I mean, I really like Tim Curry in these movies. I mean, Tim Curry any movie with Tim Curry in it just completes it all. It's just flat out amazing, really well made in detail. And I mean, the animation was just really good. Like, it's a really good animation, and I do really appreciate liking how well this movie really is. I especially like the characters, especially Eliza. I mean, Eliza is a really outgoing protagonist in this story, and I really do find this to be amazing. Now, I haven't really seen the Wild Thornberries show in like years, so I haven't really seen that show in like a while. So, yeah, my mind was kind of foggy for a minute. So, yeah, I mean the production of it was just flat out amazing. I mean, the fact that they took the subject matter, which is basically the the fact that poachers were poaching animals and that. I mean, they tackled that subject matter really well. Like, I mean, I kind of knew it's sad because lots of animals in Africa and even other countries are getting poached. And I mean, I'm against poaching. I don't know why people still do it. Like, they should really stop. Like, I mean, seriously, people should, stop, poaching animals and just leave them alone. Like, I mean, if it's their culture or something that they like to do, then I don't know. I really don't know. Although it has a pretty good, damn good movie, and it came out the same week as The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, but in the light of generally favored reviews, it's a holiday animated feature behind, Treasure Planet. Now, it was one of the only 14 feature films to be released over 300 feet to improve on its box set performance, which is very amazing. Of course, this movie was released on DVD and VHS in 2003, and I have to say I still really find this movie to be enjoyable. If you're a Nickelodeon fan and you love, Wild Thornberry's movie, then I recommend you guys get this movie. You will not be disappointed once you've seen this movie. You will not be disappointed. So, I really recommend you guys sit there and watch this movie if you haven't, or even if you have seen it but haven't watched it in a while. I really recommend you sit there and basically going out of your way and watch this movie for yourself for the first time in a long time. I mean, you will not be disappointed. I mean, the characters of, Debbie, Eliza. I really like the fact that Eliza could talk to animals. It's kind of like how Tarzan can, because if you remember, Tarzan talked to animals before if you remember watching Tarzan. Like, if you like the Disney Tarzan, like if you've watched Tarzan, you would probably remember, Tarzan, talking to animals like gorillas and etc. I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean, I think that's where they got the inspiration for Wild Thornberries, but who really knows, to be honest. So, anyways, you're all entitled to your own opinion. Like, if you don't like this movie, I respect your opinion. If you like this movie, that's perfectly fine too, because I respect your opinion regardless. So, anyways, with that said, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make the movie a lot better? Feel free to leave me now with your thoughts on this in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.